They thought they broke you. They thought the betrayal was the end of your story. They watched you lose people. They watched doors close. They watched you struggle in silence. And some of them thought you would never recover. But listen to me. God does some of his greatest work in places where people expect you to fail. The same people who counted you out may one day have to watch you rise. The same people who laughed at your weakness may witness your strength. The same people who walked away when you needed them may eventually see what God built in you when nobody was standing beside you. So don't waste your energy trying to prove them wrong. Work on becoming everything God called you to become. Because sometimes the greatest response to betrayal isn't revenge. It's transformation, it's discipline, it's peace. It's becoming so strong, so focused, so grounded, that the person who tried to destroy your confidence can no longer recognize the person standing in front of them. There are seasons in life when you will be misunderstood. There will be people who judge you without knowing your struggle. People who abandon you without hearing your side. People who betray your trust and then act like you were the problem. And that pain is real. Don't pretend it doesn't hurt. It hurts when someone you trusted turns against you. It hurts when someone you helped becomes the person who tries to hold you back. It hurts when you gave loyalty and received betrayal. But your pain does not have to become your prison. You can cry. You can grieve. You can feel disappointed, but you cannot stay there. At some point, you have to stand up. At some point, you have to wipe your tears. At some point, you have to look toward God and say, I don't understand what happened, but I trust you with what happens next. Because betrayal may change your direction, but it does not have to destroy your destiny. Sometimes God allows certain people to leave because they were never meant to enter the next chapter. Sometimes the rejection was protection. Sometimes the closed door was preparation. Sometimes losing people creates the space you need to find yourself again. And sometimes the blessing isn't just what God gives you. Sometimes the blessing is who you become while waiting for it. Stop looking back. You cannot build a powerful future while constantly staring at your past. Yes, they hurt you. Yes, they disappointed you. Yes, they may have lied about you. Yes, they may have walked away when you needed them most. And yes, there may be days when you still think about what happened. But you have to make a decision. Their actions will not control your future. What happened to you was painful, but it does not have to become the definition of you. You don't have to chase an explanation. You don't have to force an apology. You don't have to convince them that they were wrong. You don't have to make everybody understand your side of the story. Sometimes, you have to release the need to be understood by people who have already chosen not to understand you. Let God handle what you cannot control. Your responsibility is to keep moving, keep growing, keep praying, keep working, keep believing. Because every minute you spend trying to prove yourself to somebody who already decided to misunderstand you is a minute stolen from your purpose. Think about that. You are giving your energy to people who are no longer supposed to have access to your future. Don't give them that much power. They already took enough. Take your attention back. Take your peace back. Take your confidence back. Take your focus back. And put your eyes forward. There is something ahead of you that is more important than what is behind you. The person who betrayed you may know who you were. They may remember your weakest moments. They may remember when you were struggling. They may remember when you didn't have the strength to fight back, but they don't know who you're becoming. And that's what matters. Because God can take a wounded person and build strength inside them. God can take rejection and turn it into redirection. God can take a painful season and use it to develop your character. God can take what was meant to break you and use it to make you wiser. So stop thinking that your scars make you less valuable. Your scars are evidence that you survived. They show that you went through something and kept walking. They show that you were hurt but refused to stay down. They show that you lost people but did not lose yourself. And now you have a choice. You can spend the rest of your life asking, why did they do this to me? Or you can ask a better question, what is God teaching me through this? That's the shift. That's where healing begins. That's where strength begins. That's where maturity begins. That's where your next chapter begins. Maybe God is teaching you boundaries. Maybe He is teaching you patience. Maybe He is teaching you discernment. Maybe He is teaching you that not everybody who walks beside you is meant to walk with you forever. Maybe He is teaching you to stop depending on people's approval and start depending on His direction. Whatever the lesson is, learn it. Don't waste the pain. Don't waste the tears. Don't waste the sleepless nights. If you suffered, let that suffering produce wisdom. If you were rejected, let rejection teach you resilience. If someone betrayed you, let that betrayal teach you discernment. But don't let it teach you hatred. Don't let somebody else's broken character destroy yours. You don't have to become cold because someone treated you coldly. You don't have to become dishonest because someone lied to you. You don't have to become bitter because someone betrayed you. Stay focused, stay disciplined, stay faithful. Keep becoming every morning. Choose growth every day. Choose purpose every setback. Choose perseverance. And every time your mind tries to pull you back into that old pain, remind yourself, I have already survived that chapter. I don't live there anymore. I'm moving forward. I'm healing. I'm growing. I'm becoming stronger. And I refuse to let yesterday steal what God may be preparing for tomorrow. Stop looking back. Lift your head. Straighten your shoulders. Get back to work. Your future needs your attention. Your purpose needs your discipline. Your faith needs your trust. And your next chapter needs you to stop staring at the people who walked away. Keep moving, because sometimes the greatest evidence that you have healed is not that you forgot what happened. It's that what happened no longer controls where you're going. You don't have to fight every battle. Ride that again in your heart. You don't have to fight every battle. There are battles that require your attention, and there are battles that require your surrender. Learn the difference. Because one of the greatest mistakes you can make in life is spending your strength fighting people who were never assigned to your future. Some battles are too small for your destiny. Some arguments are beneath your calling. Some conversations will only drain you. Some people will provoke you simply because they want a reaction. Don't give it to them. Let them talk. Let them assume. Let them misunderstand. Let them tell their version. You keep walking. You don't have to interrupt every lie. You don't have to correct every rumor. You don't have to respond to every accusation. You don't have to defend yourself every time somebody decides to question your character. Why? Because when you know who you are, you don't need everybody else to agree. And when you trust God, you don't have to manipulate every outcome. There will be moments when your reputation is attacked. Moments when people question your intentions. Moments when somebody takes your kindness and calls it weakness. Moments when somebody takes your silence and calls it guilt. Moments when someone tells a story about you that isn't true, and your first instinct may be to defend yourself. You may want to explain everything. You may want to expose every detail. You may want to prove that they lied. But stop, take a breath, think before you react. Because sometimes silence is strength. Sometimes patience is power. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is nothing. Not because you're weak, not because you're afraid, but because you understand that not every voice deserves your response. You have a purpose. You have a life to build. You have dreams that require your energy. You have people who genuinely love you. You have responsibilities that require your attention. Why would you waste all of that trying to win an argument with somebody committed to misunderstanding you? Keep doing the right thing. Keep your heart clean. Keep your hands working. Keep your faith alive. Keep your character intact. Because eventually, your life will speak louder than their words ever could. Let your consistency answer them. Let your discipline answer them. Let your growth answer them. Let your peace answer them. Let the person you become answer every accusation you never responded to. You don't need revenge. You need endurance. You don't need to destroy them. You need to develop yourself. You don't need to make them regret losing you. You need to make sure you don't regret losing yourself. That's the battle. The real battle is not against the person who betrayed you. The real battle is against the anger that wants to control you, the bitterness that wants to consume you, the temptation to become somebody you were never meant to be. That's where discipline comes in. You have to learn how to control your emotions without denying them. Feel the pain, but don't become the pain. Acknowledge the betrayal, but don't build your identity around it. Remember what happened, but don't allow yesterday to control tomorrow. Give the battle to God. Pray about it. Work through it. Learn from it. Then keep moving. There will be times when you want justice immediately. You want everybody to know the truth immediately. You want the people who hurt you to experience what they caused. But sometimes your greatest act of faith is saying, God, I cannot control what they do, but I can control what I become. That's maturity. That's strength. That's freedom. You don't have to chase every battle. You don't have to answer every accusation. You don't have to prove your worth. Keep your eyes on your purpose. Keep your heart close to God. Keep your feet moving forward. Because while they are talking about you, you can be building. While they are judging you, you can be growing. While they are watching your past, you can be preparing for your future. And one day you may look back and realize that the battle you thought you needed to fight was never yours to carry. God was handling it. Your job was simply to keep walking. And you win that battle one disciplined day at a time. Don't despise the season nobody sees. The quiet season, the lonely season, the season where nobody is applauding. The season where you are working, praying, struggling, and wondering if anything is actually changing. Don't hate that season. That season is building you. Because character is rarely built when everything is easy. Character is built when nobody is watching. It is built when you have every reason to quit, but you decide to continue. It is built when you don't feel motivated, but you still get up. It is built when nobody encourages you, but you encourage yourself. Everybody wants the blessing. Few people want the preparation. Everybody wants the victory. Few people want the discipline required to earn it. Everybody wants to stand on the mountain. Few people want to climb it, but you are being prepared right now, even if you don't see the results yet, even if nobody notices the work you're doing, even if your progress feels painfully slow, something is happening inside you. Every difficult morning is teaching you something. Every disappointment is developing something. Every closed door is forcing you to look deeper. Every rejection is teaching you resilience. Every betrayal is teaching you discernment. Every lonely night is teaching you how to stand without applause. And that's valuable, because if your confidence depends on people celebrating you, then people can destroy your confidence by walking away. If your worth depends on somebody else's approval, then their rejection can make you question everything about yourself. But when your confidence comes from knowing that God is still with you, people lose that power. They can leave, they can criticize, they can misunderstand, they can refuse to support you, but they cannot determine your value. They cannot cancel your purpose. They cannot decide what God can do through your life. You can stand alone, you can work alone, you can wait alone, you can rebuild alone. Not because you don't need anybody, not because you don't value relationships, but because you understand that your worth isn't determined by who stays. Sometimes people leave, and you think your life is falling apart, but maybe God is teaching you how to stand without them. Sometimes the support disappears. Maybe that's when you discover your own strength. Sometimes the applause stops. Maybe that's when you learn to work for purpose instead of recognition. So keep preparing, study, work, pray, improve, wake up when you don't feel like it. Do the work when nobody is watching. Stay disciplined when nobody is praising you. Keep showing up when the results haven't appeared, because discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when your emotions are telling you to stop. That's how you become dangerous to your old limitations. That's how you become stronger than the circumstances that once controlled you. And don't confuse silence with failure. Just because nothing is happening publicly doesn't mean nothing is happening privately. A seed grows underground before anyone sees the tree. Your preparation may look invisible right now, but invisible does not mean insignificant. There are things being developed inside you that will eventually become visible through your actions, your character, your decisions, and your results. One day, what you built in private will become visible in public. And when that day comes, don't forget the nights when you had nothing but faith. Don't forget the moments when you almost gave up. Don't forget the days when you had to encourage yourself. Don't forget the mornings when you wanted to stay in bed but got up anyway. Don't forget the times you prayed through uncertainty. Those days were not wasted. They were training. The struggle was training. The waiting was training. The rejection was training. The loneliness was training. The discipline was training. You were becoming somebody capable of carrying what you once prayed for. So don't rush the process. Don't compare your chapter to somebody else's chapter. Don't look at their public success and forget your private preparation. Your time will come. Until then, keep working, keep learning, keep praying, keep improving, keep believing, because when God opens the right door, you don't want to enter it as the person who begged for the opportunity. You want to enter it as the person who was prepared for it. Be careful, because sometimes people survive the betrayal, but lose themselves when success arrives. They survive the pain. They survive the rejection. They survive the lonely nights. They survive the season when nobody believed in them. And then, when the blessing finally comes, they become the very thing they once hated. Don't let that be you. Don't become bitter because somebody hurt you. Don't become cruel because somebody was cruel to you. Don't become arrogant because God lifted you. Don't let success convince you that you're better than the people who once stood where you stand. Stay humble, stay grounded, stay grateful, because everything you have can change. The position can change, the money can change, the opportunities can change, the people around you can change, but your character should remain. If God blesses you in front of the people who betrayed you, don't use the blessing as a weapon. Let the blessing speak for itself. You don't have to point at them. You don't have to remind them what they did. You don't have to say, "Look at me now." You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to walk into the room looking for their reaction. You don't need to watch their face when they see you succeeding. Keep your head down. Keep your heart right. Keep moving. Because sometimes the greatest victory is not getting the opportunity to humiliate the person who humiliated you. The greatest victory is realizing you no longer desire to. That's growth, that's maturity, that's freedom. You used to want them to feel your pain. Now you just want peace. You used to want them to regret losing you. Now you understand that their regret isn't your responsibility. You used to want an apology. Now you understand that your healing cannot depend on words coming from somebody who hurt you. That's powerful. Because when you stop needing them to make things right, you become free to move forward. And remember this. The greatest evidence of growth is not that you became successful. It's that success didn't turn you into the person who once hurt you. That's real victory. Anybody can become arrogant when they gain power. Anybody can become disrespectful when they finally have money. Anybody can look down on people after climbing the ladder. But it takes character to rise without becoming cruel. It takes discipline to succeed without becoming arrogant. It takes faith to receive blessings without forgetting the one who gave you the strength to reach them. So don't let your elevation destroy your humility. You don't need their downfall to celebrate your rise. You don't need their apology to experience peace. You don't need their approval to walk in purpose. And you certainly don't need revenge to feel complete. Let God deal with hearts. Let God deal with consequences. Let God deal with justice. Your job is to keep your soul clean. Your job is to keep becoming better. Your job is to protect the character you built during the struggle. Because the blessing is not worth it if you lose your character trying to obtain it. What good is success if you become somebody you don't respect? What good is recognition if you lose your peace? What good is proving everybody wrong if you lose yourself in the process? Don't win the world and lose your heart. Don't gain everything and become empty inside. Remember where you came from. Remember the nights you prayed. Remember the days you struggled. Remember when you didn't know how you were going to make it. Remember when all you had was faith. That memory should keep you humble. So get stronger, but stay kind. Get wiser, but stay humble. Get successful, but stay grateful. Rise higher, but don't forget the ground that taught you how to stand. Let your elevation reveal your character, not your bitterness. Let your success reveal your discipline, not your ego. Let your blessing reveal your gratitude, not your pride. And if the people who betrayed you eventually see you standing stronger than before, let them see something greater than success. Let them see peace. Let them see discipline. Let them see grace. Let them see a person who was hurt but refused to become hateful. A person who was betrayed but refused to become bitter. A person who was rejected but refused to stop believing. That is the kind of victory nobody can take away from you. You may not see it yet. You may still be waiting. You may still be struggling. You may still be wondering when your situation will change. You may be looking at your life and thinking, when is this going to get better? But listen to me carefully. Don't quit in the middle of the story. Don't make a permanent decision based on a temporary season. Don't let one painful chapter convince you that the entire book is going to end the same way. You have survived too much to stop now. You have cried too many tears to surrender now. You have fought too many battles to walk away now. Look at how far you've already come. There were moments you didn't think you would survive. There were nights when you felt completely alone. There were days when you had to force yourself to keep going. And yet, you're still here. That means something. It means there is still strength inside you. There is still purpose inside you. There is still something ahead of you worth fighting for. So keep going, even when you're tired. Keep going even when nobody believes in you. Keep going, even when the door hasn't opened. Keep going even when you don't understand what God is doing. Keep going. Faith does not mean you know exactly when the breakthrough will come. Faith means you keep walking even when you cannot see the whole road. You don't need to know every step. You just need enough faith to take the next one. Take the next step, then another, then another. That's how mountains are climbed. That's how lives are rebuilt. That's how broken dreams become new possibilities. There is still work for you to do. There is still growth ahead of you. There are still lessons you haven't learned. There are still doors you haven't seen. There are still opportunities you haven't imagined. There are still people you haven't met. There are still places you haven't reached. There are still versions of yourself you haven't discovered. So don't let betrayal become the title of your life. It was a chapter, not the whole book. They may have walked away. They may have counted you out. They may have judged you by your worst season. They may have expected you to remain broken, but you don't have to remain broken. You are allowed to rebuild. You are allowed to start again. You are allowed to become stronger. You are allowed to become wiser. You are allowed to change your direction. You are allowed to leave the past where it belongs. Stand up, get disciplined, get focused, get closer to God. Build again, believe again, move again. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to feel fearless. You don't need to have perfect circumstances. You just need to refuse to stop. Because sometimes courage doesn't look like confidence. Sometimes courage looks like getting up while you're still hurting. Sometimes courage looks like praying while you're still confused. Sometimes courage looks like working while you're still waiting. Sometimes courage looks like believing while you still have questions. That's faith. And when the day comes that your life looks completely different from the life they thought you would have, remember this: you didn't rise because you needed to prove them wrong. You didn't rebuild because you needed their attention. You didn't become stronger because you wanted revenge. You rose because you finally understood that what they did to you was never powerful enough to determine what God could do through you. Their betrayal had a limit. Their rejection had a limit. Their opinions had a limit. But your potential is not defined by their understanding of you. So stop measuring your future by what happened in your past. Stop asking whether they will regret losing you. Stop wondering whether they will eventually recognize your value. That's not your assignment. Your assignment is to keep becoming, keep working, keep believing, keep praying, keep learning, keep growing, keep becoming the person you were meant to be, because your story isn't finished. Not yet. There are still pages to write. There are still battles to overcome. There are still lessons to learn. There are still moments that will surprise you. So take another step, then another, and another. Keep moving, because the chapter that hurt you may have changed you, but it does not get to decide how your story ends.